how's it going? Looks like my water's not quite ready. So I'll give it a few more minutes and just take a 5-minute breather from sorting some boxes of parts that I had. And had 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes and parts that I'm not sure why I kept. Time out. Okay, like I say, I got it narrowed down to one box that I really need to sort through, 2 boxes of parts for my Datsuns, 1 box full of parts that I'm going to throw on eBay. Most of them are from an old Mazda RX-2 that I used to own. 1 box of miscellaneous wire that I'll go through because most of it's likely shit now. And that's about it. So I'm down to basically 2 boxes for storing out of 8. 1 box that still has to be sorted. I'm just, when I'm going through it, I'm taking the odd piece that I'm not sure about yet, and I'm just throwing it so I don't waste a lot of time pondering about what I'm going to do with it. Amongst all the goodies, something that I knew I had but wasn't sure where, but this box is full of license plates. Now, why would anybody keep license plates? Well, because they're all from vehicles of mine. Right from my very first car. Here's one from the 90s. I should go through and actually write down what vehicles they came from. Another thing that I've collected over the years when I worked at the phone company Fleet Garage was dealership front plates. I have a few of those as well. But most of these I likely can figure out where they're from or when they're from. A couple of my trailer plates. I'm surprised I put this one away dirty. It's Manitoba's 125th anniversary. And in some cases I've kept both front and back plates. So I did. I don't know why. I don't need both, but I kept them. Vicar Community Chev. Also got a plastic one. I haven't got a clue what I had this one for. Painted it for something. Paint job turned out pretty good for a rattle can. Keller Lincoln in Brandon. Easton Chrysler. Here's the license plate frame I used to have on my 4x4 when I was racing. If 4x4's a sin, I'm going to hell. Yeah, it was that much fun. one on the front of my truck as well. You know, keep on four-wheeling. You can tell that one's been through a little bit. But that one I had two of, so. A couple more license plates. Some of these oh, this one is labeled. This one was from my 59 GMC pickup truck. That was, I had an LT1 in it. Ram horn exhaust manifolds, because I didn't have headers for it at the time. But it was a one-piece front end that you could flip. It was a flip forward front end. And years ago, I had a custom license plate with my initials on it. I still have those around too. What I plan to do with these is I'm likely going to put them around the shop. This one is from my first Datsun 510. This was from 1981-82, so 72 Datsun 510. So I've had a few of those, quite a few. '72 Toyota Corona. It's one of the cars I got for free. Fixed it up, drove it for a while, then sold it. This one's from my '72 Datsun 521 pickup. Another one from a 510. That was the other plate. This is the license plate from my very first car. 1976. 68 Plymouth Fury 3. Four-door sedan. It was my first car. Another dirty one. Birchwood Motors. That's one of the dealers around here. Wilton Ford. They're been out of business for probably 20 years now. That was off on the front of my first car. Canadian Motors, Brandon. This one is from when I worked at the garage. We were unionized under the IBEW. Midway Chrysler. So I got a few dealership ones. Baker Community Chev. I showed a couple of those earlier. Never was put on a car. A friend of mine gave that to me years ago, back in, it would have been early 80s. You know, younger, struggling family. I had a 77 Nova, and one of the things people used to say to me all the time was, why do you have these old cars? You know, it was 10 years old and the thing ran like $1 million. You know, why don't you have, you know, a nice big fancy car? Well, I never wanted a fancy car. I didn't care. that much. I liked my cars, I liked my little Datsuns. I didn't need something fancy, so I got tired of listening to people saying that I should have a fancy car, so I custom made my own front license plate. And here it is. That was on the front of my 77 Nova. Working man's Cadillac. Got a lot of comments about that. See what else we have here. Westport Chrysler. ITB van bodies. Midtown Ford. Phillips Lincoln Mercury. Orion Chev, that's out of business. Another Wilton Ford. A lot of these, like having multiples of the Wilton Ford, like I have, is I kept several of them because I thought I could repaint them and use them for something else. I just never have. There's a Motor Sales, and that was the Jag Volvo dealership for years in Winnipeg. And yet another Wilton Ford, Pembina Dodge, another Midway Chrysler, Landau Lincoln Mercury, Eastwood Jeep Eagle. So those are pretty well all my license plates from my cars, except for I think there's 3 or 4 that haven't been put in there yet, that are sitting in another cupboard. These ones were up out of the way. But one of the other things I have is bicycle license plates. When I lived in Winnipeg, when I was growing up, we had license plates on our bicycles. So here's the 1978 Winnipeg Centennial 1974. (1980), I was still riding my bike. 1981, 75, 1971, and that was before. Where I lived was St. James Assiniboia, and that was technically not part of Winnipeg at the time. It was the very west end, and then they joined all these. It was like the city of St. Boniface, the city of Transcona, city of St. James Assiniboia, and they all combined to become Winnipeg. It was all, you know, the only thing that divided them at the time were streets. So finally they threw it all under one name. There's a 77, 72, 73, 75, 76, 77, 78. I got some of these in order. 79. 81. There's a 1970. Yeah, all the rest are basically repeats. I also have my sister's license plates off their bikes. They didn't want them, and I kept them for some reason. And actually, an old racing acquaintance of mine owns a bicycle shop in Winnipeg, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them and pick the ones that are duplicates, and he was looking for some a while ago, and he actually had a Datsun rear quarter panel that I could have used. I don't need it now, but he would have been willing to trade at that time. So, fuel license plates, those are the bikes. Anyway, from the sounds of it, my number 2 son, AJ, is planning on coming out here Saturday or Sunday, I guess, to help us drywall. So Monday, Kyle and I, we got one sheet up and one is almost cut. But I can't do ladders right now. There may be a time that I can again, but my legs are just too shaky and it's just far too dangerous for me to do ladders. I've never had a problem with heights as long as I had good firm footing. So, and to me ladders was firm enough. I could climb a 20, 30, 40 foot ladder, no problem. No fear at all of heights, no vertigo or anything like that. So it'd be nice if I could climb ladders. I could get a lot more done instead of relying on other people. But got to deal with the hand that I was given. Just gonna check the water here, see if it's boiling. It's getting pretty close. Almost there. A few more minutes. We can have a nice warm hot chocolate.
Couldn't go.